What is up, guys? It's Troy at the Full Setup, back with another video for you, and in this video today we have a review of the Modmic USB from Antlion Audio. And now I'm sure most of you already know what the Modmic is. This is a clip-on microphone that you can put on the side of your headphones and turn it into a gaming headset, or you can also use it for voiceovers as well. Now this one is sort of in the middle of the pack. This is the one that I decided I wanted. They said you could have whichever one you wanted. So there's a standard one that's got a 3.5mm jack that sells for about £40 that you can just plug into the back of your computer or laptop. This one sells for about £75, so just this is a USB one. And they also do a wireless one as well, and yeah, sort of regretting maybe not getting the wireless one, you'll see in a minute. But yeah, this one retails for about £75. So I'm going to stop doing my normal beginning of the video waffle because this video is long. We need to unbox it, we need to look at it, we need to test it with headphones, we need to do loads of different sound tests. So I'm just going to come back with all my pros and cons at the end of the video, tell you like who I think this is for, why I think you should buy it, why I've absolutely loved using it as well, and any sort of cons that I've got as well. So let's start by having a look in the box then. As you can see, it's in this all white and blue box. I feel like I'm unboxing an Arctic cooling piece of equipment. This is very much what Arctic, how they like to box all their stuff. Like, I feel like this has got two little F8 fans in it, but obviously we know it's a microphone. So we've got the Modmic USB, Antlion Audio up at the top there, picture of the microphone. Stellar digital quality, attaches to any headphones. It's Discord certified. I imagine it would be if it was a microphone, so don't know how far that gets you. Add a professional dual capsule microphone to any headphone or VR visor via Modmic's patented clasp system. Dual microphone switch between broadcast quality and noise cancellation. We're going to test both out as well. I think I'll just like max out the fans on my PC so we can see what the noise cancellation is like. Also going to probably test it with a couple of different keyboard switches. So like my reds are silent, but if we use the blues, they're clicky. So we can hear the noise cancellation there as well. And USB termination. Let's have a little look inside the box. Piece of cardboard. And then we just have this nice case with Antlion written all over it. So there you go. Feels solid. Nice solid case to put it in when you're not using it. And the reason I went for the USB one over the one that you would plug in is because just the one that plugs directly into the back, because that comes down to how good your sound card is in your computer. Most are pretty good these days anyway for most of you. And then with the wireless, which I think I'm probably going to regret because I've just thought about it, maybe I don't want an extra cable. The wireless one, you're obviously going to lose some quality in there as well. So they're saying this is their best. When it comes for just pure audio quality, this is their best version just by having it on USB, you know, because obviously, like I just said there, the one will come down to your sound card, and the other thing will also come down to, you know, for the price of £100, how good is the wireless receiver that they're putting in. So let's have a little look at all these little gubbinses we've got in here. Try not for any of these to roll off. So we've got some 3M sticky pads, so that's nice to replace it. Now there's only one of these in here. Fair kiss. This is what you lock the microphone onto. Ah, there is one. That's good. So at least there's two. There is one actually on the microphone, and then these are for just sort of general cable management to wrap it down your cable. So in total you get two of the little stick-on things. I don't know if you can buy these separately. I didn't check before. I'm hoping you can. Then there is a manual for how you would attach it. And then just some like sort of settings and stuff like that. So you've got the omnidirectional and the thingy microphone as well. So let's have a little look at the microphone. Now I know this is a 2-meter cable, and I sort of wish there was an extension in the box. As you can see, there's a USB extension down by me here. Now for most people, if you're just plugging a pair of headphones into the back of your computer and then you're plugging it into the USB or the mic, if you get the one that's just a 3.5mm jack, that's going to be fine for you. Problem with that is that I feel a lot of people that want to buy this one are going to want to pair it with nicer headphones, and with nicer headphones you're generally going to need a headphone amplifier. Probably not something expensive as this DX7 PRO here. That's like a £500 DAC headphone amplifier, but you're probably going to have something like that. Or with one pair of my headphones I plug into my Focusrite Scarlett, which is all the way over there somewhere. My computer's all the way over here somewhere, so this isn't long enough. but it is a nice cable. So I think there's an extension. Like I said, for most people, it will be fine. Just use case scenario. Vegas. Then we have a mute microphone. Here is the mic. There it is. So this is Antlion audio on it there. Does it? Is that what it says? What does it say? Yeah. Then we have the other little sticky on-y bit. Flexes really well. This flexes not as good as my Razer Kraken, but very well indeed. So that goes on the back of your headphone. Here is the condenser microphone with a little shield over the end of it there. I'll put that back on in a second, so it's going to be a bit hard on camera. Just hit the space bar so music started playing. Antlion audio again. And then here, which one's which? I think the circle is going to be the noise cancelling. Very hard. Let's see if we can get some focus in there. And then this one, you see it's got like a little blip in it. I think that's the omnidirectional noise cancelling. Let's have a look. Okay, so that one's unidirectional, and this one is omnidirectional that way. Omnidirectional because you've got the circle, and that one's the unidirectional. I think the unidirectional is what they're going to say is going to be the noise cancelling, because that's only going to just focus on you very closely, as this one's going to pick up sound from everywhere. So if someone like shits their pants behind you, that's going to show up, as in if if you got it that way, you're only going to smell it. Great analogy there. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing, because I've got two types of headphones. Let me get all these bits out of the way. So here are the first pair of headphones. These are the K240 AKG Mark IIs. Now these are like reference headphones. They're pretty cheap actually. I got these for like 30 quid, but they normally retail for about 50, but you can get them a bit more discounted. But these have got very good imaging. That's what I'd say. There's a very lack of bass in here. Even when I plug it into the topping just about adds some bass to it, but there isn't huge amounts of bass from this, and this is what I prefer over using like a surround sound headset. This is the pair of headphones I used to pretty much just play Battlefield with and doing some audio editing on the channel. Did plan to upgrade these at some point, but I just bought some new speakers. These were going to be getting replaced with a higher end model of theirs. But yeah, that's what I like to use. Like, I wouldn't say it's the best in audio quality. Do you know what I mean? It's not. But what they're very good is they have very good imaging and very good separation. And I find I hear footsteps a lot better on these than I do on the Razers, even with the 7.1 on. The Razers are just too freaking boomy. I don't want no bass, and that's a game that I want to sort of play competitively. I'm not a competitive player, but all I care about is killing people. So I originally thought when they sent over, I was like, ideal, it can go on this bit. It can go on this bit here. But then I realised I don't really want the cable on the other side. And then I've got this is their mini XLR cable here. So I think the first crack's going to be... Let's have a look. Does this bend about? So this sort of needs to stay like this, popping down. And I feel like that's going to be quite far away from my face there. But it's still going to get the mic okay. Could I stick it? I don't think it's going to quite go on here. I could stick it there or something. Obviously you would have a little bit more on this because that's how you're... So I think I've got it sussed at how I'm going to have it on the AKGs. So yeah, they're the ones I use for shooting. You do need to leave the thing to cure for an hour though, so I don't want to be messing around for it. Now these are the pair of headphones I thought they're probably going to struggle to fit on. I'm not too happy with that little thing. It literally just fell off my AKG straight away. So this review could get ended early. If it's not cured in an hour, this review's getting ended early. But these are the headphones that I like to use for the rest of my gaming. So I was using these yesterday to play Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. These are the Philips, I forget which ones they are, X2 HR headphones. They retail for up to £200, but you can pick these up for like 120. And these headphones punch way above their weight. They're not quite Sennheiser HD 660S's, but for a third of the price, they're incredibly good open back headphones. Again, probably actually have better imaging than the AKGs, better detail, but that's where they do have something more they have is the bass, and that's why I don't like using them for playing Battlefield on. But yeah, we want to try and stick one on this mesh. Definitely check these headphones out. Other headphones as well, if you're thinking to pair with these, if you didn't want a gaming headset like what I do. Anything from Dynamic and Sennheiser. Ah, that's magnetic. So that just sticks straight on the side. Should we have a look at that one? And then we'll come back to the AKGs. So there we go. So the headphones I was worried about the most, this actually sticks onto perfectly fine. I'm going to put that into position where I need it to be. Now, as for clipping the cables down, let's have a little look how these work. So we'll just stick some of these on here. Bada bing, bada boom. I think that one's going to go on main headphone one, and then I can just stick some of these down as well. So I'll just put a couple of these on my Philips headphones. Philips headphones will then jack into the front here on my Topping DX7 PRO, and then I'll have this little USB coming round. So I've all my sort of headphone wire going this way, mouse and keyboard here, it's not in my way. So yeah, pretty happy about it. Need to just, it is popping about on there. I wouldn't say it's the strongest magnet going, but it's definitely holding on there. I think you sort of flex it and put it into position, maybe holding it here and then just leave it. I think once you've got loads of these on here as well, that's going to stop any potential pull on the headphones. And obviously you're going to be sat sort of still when you're playing. You're not going to be pulling at them in the same way that I am now. This is very stiff. It feels great that it's stiff at the same time as when I'm bending it, I'm like, am I going to break it? So yeah, should we just leave the AKGs for an hour? Because to be honest, I want this to work on the AKGs more than my expensive headphones that I use for other games, because those are the headphones I use for Battlefield, so we need it working on those headphones. If not, I'm probably just going to glue that magnet onto the side anyway. So I've left this on now for actually probably closer to 3 hours, and then all I've been doing is sort of every half an hour just giving it a real good squish and push on there. And to be fair, it is now fitting on here really well actually. Now I know of what a few of you are thinking, why didn't you put it like here or here maybe? And as you can see with the mic, I felt it was going to put more tension on it if I put it in these areas, especially with it not sticking too well. So yeah, it's stuck very well now. I feel like I could, you know, easily pull it off with my hand, but then I feel like that's the point of it, because maybe you don't want to keep it on your headphones forever, and there were those spare little sticky pads in there as well. So yeah, on the AKG headphones, probably, you know, you would maybe want the mic about here or something, but you're still going to be able to speak into it fine. I've had it on my head and it, you know, it does feel fine. I do feel like, you know, the mic's still going to pick me up. An example would be my Razer Kraken. I normally actually leave that mic tucked right back in so it's not in my way. So it is sort of in about the same position as this. And no one's ever really had an issue with hearing me on the team chat. So yeah, I'm definitely glad it's fitted on the AKGs as well. I think because obviously these headphones are ones that I do like to have on for long gaming sessions. The Philips ones, you know, I don't want to be in danger of damaging them and stuff. I'm a little bit more careful with these. These I can just sort of chuck around everywhere, you know. They're £40 or less than £40. I can't remember what I paid. Somewhere closer to £30 I paid for them. So I'm happy to chuck these about. But as you can see, yeah, sticking on really well. So enough waffling, and we have to do a sound test. Oh, actually, the only thing I've noticed is that when you do want to adjust the mic, is just to bring your hand up, hold over, and then adjust it that way, because this is quite tight, so it is prone to popping off, and it's the same on the Philips headphones as well. So we are going to start then with the sound test using the Razer Kraken headset. So this is the V1 headset. We're currently set at 70% input gain in Audacity. Now, this microphone, I've never really had massive complaints about. You can hear it doesn't sound great, and I do apologise. I've got a bit of a cold, so I sound nasally. Another thing as well, which is going to be sort of good for the testing today, is it's a bit of a busy street outside of me. I'm not on a main high street, but there is a school run. There's a train station just over there. People try and come down here to park their cars to, you know, save on paying to park in the train station. A couple of local businesses as well. So we might hear some cars or motorbikes go past. So hopefully we can see how they pick up any of the sound. But yeah, overall, this is a microphone that I haven't really got massive complaints about. It doesn't sound great, but people can hear you, you know, on chat. That's the most important thing. Where's the enemy? And I just love the flexibility of it. I love that it just slides away, out of the way. You know, that's a really cool feature. So I'm not going to have games in front of me here. We will have some Battlefield in front of me in a second, because there was another test I wanted to do. Now, I have actually had to shoot the recording part of the video again, so I do apologise to anyone that's already seen it, and that is because I actually had the microphone facing the wrong way. So it didn't really make much of a difference on this setting that we're on. This is on the omnidirectional setting. There wasn't really much of an audio difference that I could hear. but Antlion are insisting that I have it in the both way for, you know, the correct way for both the sound tests, and I can completely understand why they would want me to do that. You know, they've obviously sent it out for me and I tested it wrong, and huge apologies. You know, we all make mistakes. So you might have seen that in the unboxing footage where I said you need to keep it close and up towards your cheek. Now they're saying that you should have the microphone a lot closer. The way I've positioned it on my headphones and the way I like my microphone to be, this is how I like it for me. Okay, so I'm at 94% gain. You may find that your gain is a little bit lower. When you first plug it in, it's at 82% gain, but you may find out, you know, you might find that to be a little bit loud, and it all depends what you're doing as well, because at the moment I'm talking. When you're gaming, you could be shouting. So yeah, this is it in its correct way, in the right way that it should have been the whole time. So yeah, just huge apologies. And to be fair, it's a simple mistake that any of you could make. I think it's because I've seen the mic sort of on both sides and didn't realise, I sort of weren't noticing that that little cardioid one is supposed to be facing inside. So we're at 94% gain on the cardioid setting as well. So obviously for the omnidirectional, it doesn't really matter which way you speak into it. I retested the omnidirectional and it doesn't make a difference because there's holes on both sides. But the cardioid one is the slightly smaller one, and that's the one where we're not getting the noise reduction test. So we're going to start by here. So I'm using the WASD keys. This is blue switches. You know, that's the space bar. These are the sort of things that you're going to hear in a live stream. Especially the space bar. You're jumping over stuff. So there we go. Sort of a typing test, just me bashing keys. You would normally have like gaming footage in the background, I know. But we're just going to use the WASD keys. You want to know what it can pick up. That's the space bar there, and this is why I probably wouldn't recommend blues for live streaming. So that's the blues. Keyboard number 1. So we're going to see if we can hear anything. So I'm on the WASD keys, on the blue switches. And one thing you've got to remember as well is, you know, if you're doing a live stream, you're going to have gaming noises in the background as well. But it's more just to show you the difference between keys if you were thinking of a keyboard for live streaming. Now I think browns would be the happy medium, but let's do some spacebar batting. Moving over to the red switch, the silent switch. Hear that? There's just a massive reduction in the click sound there. Moving over to the reds on the red switch. So there we go. There's the Razer Kraken. And these are the red switches. You can see there it's barely picking up any audio. I'm going to do some spacebar bashing. See that? You can hear a little bit more. But for general all day typing, these would definitely be the switches I would go for. But yeah, reds. Anything. Super silent there as well. So yeah, so much happier with the cardioid now. Now obviously for anyone that might have watched the original video, because I'm going to have to re-upload it. Now this was looking very small. Very, very small. We weren't really getting much of a waveform whatsoever. That you might have to boost this in production, but it's definitely working a lot better now. My personal preference is still the omnidirectional though. So yeah, everything I say at the end of the video is still going to make sense. So let's do some more tests. Now for the final test, I'm going to be testing some Battlefield 5, but we're going to be playing it through sound coming out the headphones, because I want to know how much these headphones leak. I want to know how they sound on both settings, because these are going to leak sound. So you know, sometimes these can get very noisy. These aren't a pair of headphones you could sit in a room or sit in bed with someone and listen to music, because they're going to be able to hear what you're listening to quite loudly. So let's do some Battlefield tests. Obviously I'm not going to be focusing on gaming too much. Just want to we're just looking for background noises, how they're leaking into the microphone. And this map's going to show it, isn't it? Here we go. So I've now got it on the cardioid setting, the noise reduction setting, in the proper way that it's supposed to be. I do apologise for getting it wrong. I think what it was is because of where I put it on my AKG headphones, and I flipped it around the other way, and then I just didn't notice. Oh, so either way, we're just gonna, I'll respawn in. I want to hit some shots off, don't we? But yeah, much better. But really, this is the thing. I think you know with open back headphones this is going to happen. I'm not trying to do this in a way to put you off the mod mic. You know, you want probably semi-open back headphones for this. Barodynamic DT 880 Pros or 990s. I can't remember which one it is. But yeah, there we go. Just going to pop some shots off. So you can hear the sort of sound that's leaking through. So there was the review then of the Modmic USB, and I'm really impressed with this. Very impressed with this. So when I plugged it in last week and just did a sound test, just recorded a little bit in Audacity just to get the levels right for it, I was a bit like, yeah, it doesn't really sound much different to my Kraken. I don't think it's that much of an improvement. Obviously, I hadn't recorded from the Kraken in a very long time because this thing just, you know, smashes it. And that's only one gaming headset, and it's a bit of an aging gaming headset now. So we can't say this is better than every microphone on every headset going, but this is a very good microphone. You know, that's what you got to understand. If you're buying a £50 to £100 pair of headphones, they're not putting a £70 to £100 microphone on it. You see what I'm saying here? So the quality is going to be better. I definitely think it's actually a little bit better than this, which seems to be pointing over that way. So I don't know how much audio's gone wrong there. When I say this, that's just the Rode Video Micro. I need to upgrade it eventually. And I could definitely see myself using this for voiceovers, even though I really do like my Rode mic over there. Just for the ease of it, just the fact that it's just plug in, I've got the headset on, I know it's nice and close to me. So yeah, I definitely rate this, and I think this is for people who like to game with just headphones on. Now, I'm not saying that, you know, just because you enjoy Virtual 7.1 and you think it makes you a better gamer and you enjoy the experience, I'm not saying you're wrong there. I'm just saying you just have to understand, for me, Virtual 7.1, and it just really isn't for me. And that's not just listening to this headset, that's listening to a few other headsets as well. Things I've bought for friends down the years because they've asked me to source them one, just, you know, giving it little sound tests. They're not really for me. And to be fair, if I was going to be investing in an expensive headset, I would probably be going for something like Barodynamic or Sennheiser, because for me, I want to buy something from a company that's got serious headphone pedigree. That's just where I'd be at it. Flashing RGB, wireless, all that extra stuff, all the extra things that can go wrong aren't really of an interest to me. Like I said, I only bought the Kraken because it was a very cheap headset for me to buy, and I know that Rhodes is a quality brand, but I wouldn't say they're a quality headphone brand. So it really brings me over to the pros and cons of this mod mic, and would this be the mod mic for you? Now, I would definitely recommend this over the 3.5mm jack version, because it all comes down to what the sound card is like in your computer. And if it isn't up to scratch, and if you're getting loads of feedback, and I know they've got a lot better, but if you've got a basic motherboard with, you know, a basic DAC in it, and it's not sounding quite right, then you're going to buy a little headphone, you know, you're going to buy a little sound card or something, so you end up being at the USB price. The next thing would be like the wireless version. Like I said, I've said a few times in the video, I sort of wish I went for it just because it's an extra cable. You know, there is an extra cable. Luckily, I've managed to wire it up all right, so it works. Massive pro as well is like the actual clips that go on the side on both the Philips and the Sennheiser headphones. They fit on it real snug, but the microphone cable pulls straight off, but the clip still stays on what I want it to stay on, which is the headphone cable. So that's a massive pro. Sound quality, very, very good indeed. I'm really impressed with the sound quality of it. Like I said, I would mostly be running it in omnidirectional mode, you know, in the full broadcast mode. I think that's what sounded better. I didn't really notice a huge difference, but we did notice a little bit difference when I used open back headphones. Now, there is a couple of things to go into with that open back headphones, because like you would have heard the Battlefield noise in the background. And one thing to say is I was probably playing that 15% louder than I normally would. That would be the volume I would have it at if I wasn't talking to people on a headset. And that's why I had the headphones sort of off on one ear, so I wasn't shouting down the microphone while I was trying to talk to you lot. So I think if you turned it down a bit, you definitely would barely be hearing any sounds. I think you'd hear it in the omnidirectional and the broadcast setting, but I think in the noise reduction setting, it would be massively reduced. Also as well, I tested it with the AKGs and there was very little leak because they're semi-open back headphones. And I also think if you are building a setup where you go, I don't want a gaming headset, I want a headphone amp, headphones, and I'm going to get a mod mic, you would probably be looking at Beyerdynamic DT990s and 880s. And I don't know if they're both, is one of them semi-open back or are they both semi-open back? But Beyerdynamic do some very good headphones between 100 and 150 pounds, which is semi-open back, so you're going to, a lot less leakage. So all in all, super impressive. It didn't have any driver issues. A little bit more gain would be nice, I suppose. I think one thing as well is I'm not shouting now. I'm just talking away. So I think that's why it sets itself as 80% gain when you plug it in, because I think if you were sort of really getting involved in a match with your friends and shouting down it, you might need a little bit less gain than I was using there. But there wasn't a lot of headroom in there. I just feel for very soft type people, it might need a little bit more gain. And yeah, I am happy. I think the wireless would have been good. It would have been nice to be without the cable, but I just feel like it's another thing that could go wrong. And I know it's another thing that can go wrong because I've had about 3 or 4 people on the Discord I spoke to not particularly happy with their wireless mod mics. So there we go. There's some issues on that. So cons, because that sort of is a bit of a con. So let's move over to cons then. I don't know why, but for some reason on the Razer Kraken, right, I never questioned the fact that it had this flexible little mic and is it going to break? And I've had them for like 2.5 years and it's never broke. So it's weird. And I think it's because I didn't review those headphones, because when I got them so cheap, it's because the V2s had just come out. So I never really reviewed the headphone. But with this, because I'm looking at it from a review perspective, and even though it's stiffer, I'm like, is this going to break? I don't know. I just need to see if it stands up the test of time. So any mod mic buyers, people that have already bought them, if you've got any horror stories, let me know in the description. But also if you've got any great stories, let me know in the description. But yeah, just a little bit worried. Wasn't the most super flexible thing in there. Would have liked to see, there was loads of accessories, but like I said, I would have liked to have seen a couple more of those sticky pads. And what else would I have liked to have seen? It was something I said. Yeah, a USB extension cable, because like I said, a lot of people who are going to be buying this are going to be high-end headphone users. You know, like I said, sound card here, computer here, headphone plugged in here, wires going everywhere. Again, it's telling you to go and get the wireless version, isn't it? But yeah, I feel like a little bit of an extension in the box. The extension I pinched from work didn't actually work. It kept cutting out. So I ended up plugging it into this little USB hub. So it's right near my DAC, and it is good. Yeah, so I'm thoroughly impressed. And I probably need to cut the video because it's a long video. Were there any more cons? Let's have a little look. Any more cons? No. There are no real cons whatsoever. Obviously, like I said, you need to hold it if you're adjusting it. But generally, you're going to put it into a position that's good for you and leave it at that. But yeah. I haven't had any issues with it coming off, swinging around. I just had it on all last night when I was gaming. I wasn't actually gaming with any friends or anything. I was just sort of having a bit of solo. And yeah, it never fell off. So yeah, leave the video at that. Would I recommend you go and buy this? Yes, definitely. The only concern is that, is it going to stand the test of time? Because it's just an external thing, extra bit of cabling. And if it ever breaks on me, because it's going to be the microphone that I use now going forward, I will be sure to let you know in the description. Links to all the headphones that I was using today for the video in this description. Links to the Topping DX7 PRO DAC. If you've got some money to burn and you want a good ass DAC and headphone amplifier, go and buy that. Review should be coming next week. And most importantly, link in the description for the Antlion USB microphones. If you want one, make sure you buy it through my affiliate link, because I'd really appreciate it.